were certain things in the Gospels where you feel I identify with that. Not the same. I'm no Paul. I'm no James and John, Peter. But like any follower, when they read the Bible, they pick up and identify in how we're to live. And if we're living that right way, these things will happen for us also. Because many of the saints throughout the church history have been people of all walks of life, and the same similar things have happened to them. And they have looked at the gospel and and have walked through life through the Passion into Pentecost, Christmas. So we go through a cycle. Each year at Christmas, we remember the child coming into and that peace that it brings. Beautiful peace. Every Christmas I receive beautiful peace. Just love Christmas coming. And then we go, soon after that, we go into Lent and the temptation of the devil. And then we learn from that this is what the spiritual warfare is about today. This is what spiritual warfare is about. That there's a devil in the world, and that we should go and read that passage of the gospel and find out how the devil tempted Jesus, because he's doing the very same thing to us. And that's what the gospel's there for. The gospel's there to confirm us that and assure us Jesus overcome. Jesus overcame the devil in the desert. We won't, but he has, and it's up to us that's where we stay very close to the vine and receive that sustenance and strength, or we're going to get lost. And then you get coming into the Passion, where we find today's gospel and yesterday, where you get Judas has become lost, whatever he is. Had he any faith at all? Had he any faith in Jesus at all? He goes off and he's betraying Jesus. And Jesus knows it. He knows what's going on. And he has brought this up a few times, because we read through, last week we read in John's Gospel, we read John 6, where Jesus a few times, brings it up. I know who I've chosen, but one, it's going to, one's evil. So we also see this today, in the gospel. And we also need to reflect on these things. We need to reflect also what went on there. What happened? Jesus says he was a thief from the beginning anyway, so Jesus chose him even knowing he was a thief. And he was probably robbing the money. That's why he wanted in with the money. He knew then he could dip into the money, just as he dipped into the bread. Dipped the bread. And so we see probably the thing that I would probably reflect on at each year, just the same way I reflect on everything else. The thing I would reflect on with Judas would be how, when Jesus, they're all in the upper room, and he knows what he's done. He's already betrayed Jesus, already set him up. And Jesus says, one of you's going to betray me. And the first thing the apostles do, as any of the rest of us do, is it me? Is it me, Lord? The first thing is it me? The last thing in the world you would want to do, but it's the first response. And the thing about him is that he asked then, is it me? He asks. And so they poor other apostles then are left in the dark, because nobody's owned up to his one. He's going to betray me, but nobody's owned up, so they're all still, is it me? And Jesus then even says to him, so they still didn't know, because they thought Jesus was telling them to go and do something with the money, the money bag or something. No, That's why they never thought, oh, it's him, he's away. Jesus went and says to him, go and do what you're going to do quickly. You know. And he goes and returns. The kiss. Is it me? That's what I would ask myself. I ask myself that every year. Because I'm capable. And those 11 men, those 11 saint good men, were ordinary men too, like you and me. Ordinary people. Ordinary sinful people. And the response was a response of being, there weren't any saints then. They weren't, it was me, can't be me, I'm a saint. I don't sin, I can't sin, I couldn't do that, I couldn't betray somebody. Of course we could. And the saints that I read, and that's why saints are only, they're only canonized years later, that a saint can fall right at the last, and they know that. A saint, even a holy person like Mother Teresa, Pope John Paul, the church knows that even the most holy, the greatest, the most faithful, look at King Henry VIII, was a defender of the faith and then turned against the church. So there's the capability up to the last moment that any of us could do that. Any of us can fall. And it's worth thinking about. It's worth contemplating. Because when you contemplate that, you're contemplating with faith. And your faith then tells you, I then need to keep close to God. I need to pray to him. I need to ask him for graces. I need to get sustenance in the Eucharist. I need prayer life. I need to be making penance, and reparation. All these things that can help me to follow the Lord and keep within the vine and be, a part of the flock, the good shepherd. So that's really today what I'd like to share, because it's still part of my journey, and those things are happening. They're happening today.